All right, so this is actually going to be a kind of uncharacteristically long video. One of the things that we did as part of this campaign that also led to this show was to try to brand Wilmington and to create a video that is just a kind of a branding video that shows Wilmington. And it turns out branding a city, especially a city like Wilmington, is challenging. And we got a lot of different types of reactions from different people. So before we start the discussion, what I want to do is I want to roll the video that is the actual launch video for this campaign, and then Ivan and I are going to talk about what our reactions were. I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes of how we got to that video, and then we're going to talk about other people's reactions. And it should be a fun conversation. All right, so Sam, let's play that clip. So now, I knew this was going to be a challenge. I knew this was going to be a challenge to make this video in a way that everybody was going to, I knew that we weren't going to get to a spot where everybody would look at the video and say, yes, that is my Wilmington, but I was really stunned by the exact opposite. Yes, I was shocked by the exact opposite reactions we got from different communities within Wilmington. Yeah. So, for example, so to start with, what's your reaction to the video?
I honestly thought the video was shot extremely well.
You were one of the shooters on the video, so there's that.
Yeah, it was one of the shooters, and I understood where you wanted to go with the video, and I love how it was shot. I think with me, with me, I would have loved, and this was the argument, and some more arguments was out there about the video, but I would have loved to see a little bit more this culture and more, like, for example, okay, we're going.
Okay, culture. What do you mean by culture?
We're going to say that we're going to give you the skinny. Okay. I would have loved to see more African American people, black people doing more professional things other than cutting hair and playing basketball, but. I was okay with the video to an extent.
I gotta stop you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the thing. Yeah. So I have black people in this video.
Yes.
Okay, who are practicing things other than cutting hair and playing basketball. I've got people coding.
Yeah.
I've got a lawyer in there, a black lawyer. I've got lots of. So this is what drives me nuts. Because the on the other side, when I showed this to, let's say, white business people, they were like, oh, it's all black people.
Wow.
Do you know what? Yeah, no, seriously. So we got the exact, and we had very similar on opposite ends of the spectrum reactions.
Yeah.
And we actually counted it, and it was 50-50. Yeah. Plus, we had to have, obviously, Latino, Asian, right? And we had that in there, too. And the thing that sucks as a video producer is you don't you don't want, you obviously have to represent diversity, but you don't want to get locked into like the whole thing just being about making sure you have 6 of one and 6 of the other.
Right.
Like you want to make the best video you can.
Right.
So tell me, why do you think the images of black people who are professionals didn't come through in the video?
Well, it's like this. It's like before you came along, all right, many videos came out excluding people of color in Wilmington. And I think with a lot of people that were seeing that, they were waiting for that. A lot of people were waiting for that instead of saying, hey, what is this really for? Again, I think you and your team did an excellent job with that. I think, like, and again, I know where you were going with it, and I appreciate that. I think that as a producer or a filmmaker, it is hard trying to cover all angles. And I think with the video that maybe in going forward, like even with myself, is we got to speak to everyone. So even if that's more videos going to just this demographics right here, we have to do it because like I know, you can't make everyone happy.
Right.
Yeah. But so
I do, and I almost felt like, oh, maybe we succeeded because we made everyone equally pissed off. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it was, but here's the thing. So just to give a little, I'm going to give just a little behind the scenes of how this video was made. We actually, my goal as a director of this video was how can we, and I co-directed this by the way with Mauro Giuffrida, our head of post-production here at Short Order, another creative director. But what we wanted to do was if we just go out and capture what is there that we can see. So we went out with 15 shooters. We made sure to go to all corners of the city. Yeah. We probably didn't hit every corner, but we went to a lot of places. There's shots there from Southbridge. There's shots there from the east side, from the west side. There's shots there from everywhere.
Right.
And we went into all of these places and we just shot what we saw.
Yeah.
And then we pulled the best clips out of that. And then when we show it to people and we hear back, I wish we would have seen some more neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we went to the neighborhoods.
And that's the thing about Delaware, about Wilmington, is that we are not what I always say is we're Mayberry on steroids. We have people here that we want to see our neighborhoods. We want to see where we come from. We want to see, like in video, we have to see what people are familiar with. And I think in this video that when you showed it that day, that no one was familiar with what they saw. You know what I mean? So with that moving forward, I think this is a great conversational piece for us now to just cross that line and showing the real the Wilmington that everyone loves.
And I want to expand the conversation really briefly because one of the when I originally conceived of this, I wanted to come up with what's the best piece of music that we could use to represent Wilmington. And so So I went back through and I was like, who's like got this like cool old, pastiche is Cab Calloway. Calloway, Wilmington claims Cab Calloway as their own, which is controversial, by the way, because he wasn't really from here, but he did live here later in his life. But Cab Calloway, I had never heard Cab Calloway's music. So one day I'm on the train and I was like, all right, I got to come up with the perfect piece of music here. So I turn on Cab Calloway's greatest hits. First song pops up.
Boom.
Minnie the Moocher.
Right.
Unfortunately titled song.
Right.
But the music was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, no. Here's the thing. It was perfect because it was different. Let's roll that clip, Sam. Show them what it looked like with Minnie the Moocher, and then Ivan's gonna tear me apart for even considering using that song. But yeah, let's go ahead and play that. So that's the thing about the Minnie the Moocher. I understand that it's about a hooker or whatever. I understand that it's problematic, right? But I don't care what it's about. The sound of it was just like, oh, it has like that grit. It feels right. Like it feels like it's not trying to be too much. It's not trying to be too little, but it's old school and it's different.
Right.
But what's wrong with it?
No, that's the thing.
So
that's
Ivan
the
told
thing.
me,
No. I like when I heard it, I was like, no, absolutely not. You better not put that out. Minnie the Moocher, mooches off of people. That song with the black community is a rough song because, you know, again, being familiar with. That song came out around the Cotton Club era, and that Cotton Club era was rough for black people. And it's saying that, you know, black people are good enough to entertain us, but you still have to go through the back door to get there. And I think that, and you know, like when we put the right song with the right film, the right footage, that we get that certain vibe. Knowing that with that song, some people, not all people, but some, and it could have been white people too, that would probably say, what are they really trying to tell me here? Because a lot of people that saw the video, because we had a focus group about the video, were saying, whoa, wait a minute, they look like they're trying to whitewash Wilmington, you know, and especially with that song.
My head explodes.
But I know that's not what you meant. And let me say, that is not what this man meant. I know that. We talked about it, you know. So, but moving forward, it was just like it was a rough song, because what I was really, really afraid of is the older generation here, the stakeholders that have been here since, you know, through the riots, that would hear that song, and again, remembering older people before you that put videos out about Wilmington and had no black people in it. Right. So out of nowhere, here comes a song about Minnie the Moocher at one of the worst times in history for black people in this video. And I didn't want that to happen. So
no,
you know,
and that's and look, I appreciate that. I didn't realize the context. All I heard was like the hidey, and then everybody goes hidey, hi. It's cool.
It is amazing.
It's so cool, and I would love to, like, at some point, it would be great to be able to somehow use some of that texture. Now, I understand we have so much music in Wilmington. Like, actually, music is one of the things that we should take a lot more credit for in Wilmington, because we just have a really rich music, just even right now today.
Without a doubt.
Which we're going to talk about. But, so there's a lot that went into this, and I just thought it would be good to have a discussion about it on the show. I think that this discussion is going to continue. We knew that this video was never going to, you know, this video was an icebreaker for Wilmington kind of introducing itself, but it's just the beginning of what's coming from all this stuff. We want to really tell the whole story of Wilmington.
Right.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, because I was going to say, like, for the people that's paying attention, put your comments below and tell us what you thought about the tell us what you thought.
More thought about that video. And if you want to see the video itself in its entirety, it's at wilmington.love, and there's going to be more and more stuff like that coming out of here. And you know, I directed it. I take responsibility for it. Ivan went out and shot with me. A lot of people shot with us on that. There was 15 shooters on that. So anyway, that's we'll have more conversation about this, and you got to help me find a spot where we can use Minnie the Moocher somewhere. Okay. For something that doesn't in the right context.
In the right context.
That's right.
I'm with, because that's what we're doing here at the Wilmington Show.
That's right.
Right?
Okay. Very good. All right.
Like the paper throw?
Yeah, you're gonna throw the paper every
single time. That's my calling card.
All right. Hey guys, the YouTube algorithm requires that I tell you to like, comment, and subscribe. But I also wanted to tell you that if you have a Wilmington story that you want featured on the show, please submit it at stories.wilmington.love. We love to hear from you.